Happy New Year. I hope you had an amazing end to your 2022 and your 2023 is off to a great start. I'm very excited to launch, you may have heard, a daily devotional based on Strangers on the Way, the book that I released last January. I just released a companion to it with just extended time for reflection questions and time with God. And so I'm very excited to have that out on Amazon. And for the month of January and a little bit into February, I thought it would be so fun to go through the devotional together. So if you want to go through it with me, you can get your copy on Amazon. Otherwise, I'll be reading the stories and the reflection questions each day. You can consider it story time with Lauren every day for the next 40 days. And so let's jump right in. Here's the devotional as well if you haven't gotten it yet. So day one, if you read Strangers on the Way, you might be familiar with day one. But there's some questions at the end to reflect as well. So day one, Marcelo, a Brazilian surf instructor. The Drake lookalike. Every single summer, I'll be the one that you remember. The first time you meet me, it's a given that Drake will somehow make his way into our conversation. For those who don't know who Drake is, he's a Canadian rapper, hip-hop artist known for catchy songs like Hotline Bling and Best I Ever Had. He's currently has the record for the number of songs on Billboard's Hot 100 list, but more importantly, he has the record for #1 rapper in my heart. I love Drake. Actually, that doesn't do it justice. I love Drake. People think it's pretty funny when they find out how much I like this rap star, and what quickly follows is, oh, you look like you'd like country music, or really, you rap? But yes, I love him. A few summers ago, my mom and I booked a short trip to Southern California. California is one of my favorite places on the planet. Give me a beach, some sunshine, and an ocean, and I'm all yours. Secretly, I've always thought deep down I'm a California girl. I was born there, but my family moved to the Midwest when I turned 2 years old. So does that count? In true Californian spirit, before we got on the plane, I scheduled my first ever surf lesson. And before I knew it, the day was here. Excitement mixed with some jitters, I met the owner at the surf shop, squeezed my way into a wetsuit, and grabbed a surfboard. I booked a private lesson, so the owner said my instructor would meet us at Huntington Beach. I waddled my way down to the sand and waited for my instructor to arrive. Soon after, a white pickup truck carrying a bunch of surfboards pulled into the parking lot. The driver shut the car door and propped 2 surfboards up against the back hood. "Hey, I'm Marcelo," the guy said in the cutest Portuguese accent while shaking my hand. "I'm from Brazil and I'm your instructor today." My jaw dropped. Not only did he look Brazilian, but Marcelo was a spitting image of, you guessed it, Drake. Broad shoulders, bronze skin, brown eyes, big smile, handsome as ever. Marcelo could have been Drake's long-lost twin. I glanced at my mom and mouthed, "Oh my gosh, is this real life?" Trying not to cause a scene, I picked up my surfboard and carried it into the ocean. Marcelo gave me some tips about paddling and positioning, and then we jumped into the waves. Surfing was harder than I thought, but it was so fun. I tried my very best to catch a wave, but hey, I was a bit distracted. And finally, I got up on the board and began to glide across the water. It was one of the most exhilarating experiences of my life. I could hear Marcelo cheering from behind me as I rode the wave toward the shore. As we wrapped up the surf lesson, I couldn't help but ask Marcelo, "Do you know you look like Drake?" He laughed and said, "I get that all the time." We snapped a quick photo. It still sits on my dresser to this day, over there. And I walked to the car, beaming and overwhelmed by the joy of the day. I've come to learn that coincidences in life are often beautifully orchestrated events by a Father who loves us. But this experience blew my picture of God out the window. It broke through every religious box of who I knew God to be. Could God have a sense of humor? Does he mind that I like Drake? His song lyrics are not the cleanest. And how could God know me that well? As I've gotten to know God a bit better since then, I do believe he set the whole thing up. It's like the best blind date I've ever been on, and I can imagine God grinning as he saw me walking to the beach that day. He knew what I loved and planned something just for me. And since then, there have been big and small moments where he's poured out his love in special and fun ways like that. As I journaled this morning, I saw a blueberry on the ground. It had evidently rolled out of my oatmeal bowl and landed on the carpet. Suddenly, I flashed back to a few pictures and visions I had in my mind over the past few months. When I prayed, I had seen images of blueberries, but I didn't know what they meant. Sometimes God uses pictures in our minds to speak to our hearts. As I picked up the blueberry from the carpet, I asked Jesus, "Why have I been seeing blueberries lately?" And the reply came instantly to my heart, "Because I know you love them." Whether it's a rap star or your favorite fruit, God knows what you love too. When you see something that brings you joy today, I hope you ask him why it's there and sense him say, "Because I know you love it." Thank you so much for being a part of day 1 of Strangers on the Way devotional. Now I just love to lead you through a couple of reflection questions. The way that I did it in the devotional is using the word way, W-A-Y, and so we'll wonder, we'll activate, and then we'll yield. And so the wonder question for today. Take a few minutes and write down people and things in your own life that bring you joy. What do you love? What excites you? What makes you feel alive? Again, take a few minutes and write down people and things in your own life that bring you joy. What do you love? What excites you? What makes you feel alive? Maybe it's surfing or rap music or sports cars or time with friends. Whatever that is, go ahead and just take a couple minutes and write them down. You can even pause this video and come back for our activate. After you've reflected on a couple of those things, it's time to activate. So take a moment to reflect on the last week and plan for the upcoming week. Write 4 things you'd like to do more of and 4 things you'd like to do less of. Here's an example. Do more of: 1, walks outside; 2, phone calls with friends; 3, cooking healthy meals; 4, stretching. And do less of: 1, scrolling through social media; 2, complaining; 3, eating fast food; and 4, comparing myself to others. And so now you can create yours. On your piece of paper, write 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do more of on one side, do less of on the other side. You can pause this until you finish your activate. And then as we yield today, I would just like to read this over you. God knows how you like your coffee, your favorite place to walk, the secret longings that you haven't told anyone. He knows the name of your favorite celebrity and what makes you feel most free, and the feeling you get when someone sends you a gift in the mail. He knows your favorite pair of jeans and your favorite type of weather, and he places those things in your life because he loves you. He knows you so intimately and intricately. Today, there's an invitation to notice what is around you. Look for the ways God shows you how he sees you and knows you intimately as you go through this day. At the end of the day, reflect on ways God revealed his love for you today and write them in your journal. So I bless you. Thanks for joining day 1 of the 40-day devotional, Strangers on the Way. I just pray God spoke to you through something in the story or as you reflected. And I'm just so excited that you get to be on this journey with me as we discover God through strangers that we meet.